Hello. Hi. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Ayan.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Dean.
And I'm Maria, and this is Talk Alley.
Talk Ali.
Modern day bayanihan, or everyone to know, is a Filipino custom derived from the Tagalog word bayan for nation, town, or community. Bayanihan literally means being in bayan, and it refers to a fundamental aspect of Filipino culture, working together as a community to achieve a common goal. And it's happening right now in the Philippines. It's called the community pantry. I just want to say, partner, that I commend the people who started Maginhawa Community Pantry in the Philippines, where the organizer
Yes. Mm.
place a pantry outside her home and fill it up with goods so people who are in need could get them for free. Thus, a
That's
domino
true, partner.
effect happened out of one person's kindness and now is happening nationwide. It's so inspiring, exactly like our next guest, Dean. I'm excited to introduce you. Can you please do the honors?
It is my pleasure to introduce our guest for today. She's a passionate product manager with more than 17 years of professional experience. She has worked in the aerospace, automotive, and telecommunication industries in various functions as project, quality, and product manager, as well as managing consultant. Having an MBA and a master degree in telecommunications, she decided to pursue her career in entrepreneurship with an online program at the Stanford Graduate School of Business, where she earned a certificate in innovation and entrepreneurship. But, partner, that's not all.
Yes.
Our guest for today has also bagged awards in Germany, whereas she got the Startup Award, the Human Wirtschaft, or what we call here the Junior Chamber International, and also the third prize of Hannover Impulse. Our guest is the CEO and the co-founder of Givetastic, Giving Made Fantastic. Let's all welcome Vidya Munde-Müller.
Yay! Welcome to the show,
Yay!
Vidya.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Vidya. Thank you for your time and
Yes. We
giving us.
having you here.
Appreciate it. Yes.
Dean, according
It's
to
nice
our
to be here.
wonderful, thank you. I know Vidya is really a busy, very, very busy, but she was able to manage to put us in her very busy schedule.
I know. I could just imagine. Vidya has those. Has good deeds in her mind and plans, and I hope we
Absolutely.
could spread those in this short span of time in our show.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
Dean,
It's my pleasure to be
Jose
here.
Galvez, the manager director of ECHO Association, or the Association of the Internet Industry, the greatest potential that Germany has so far left untapped is girls and women in IT and the digital industry. Just 16.8% of tech specialists are women. Now it's time to get some deeper insights from our expert guests for this episode. Let's get down to our first question. So, Vidya, why do you think it's important for more women to join the tech industry?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think first of all, I feel honored to be here and to express my views and opinions about, in general, everything that you will ask me today. So, in my candid opinion, it's important that we have diversity in tech because everything that we are developing with software or and hardware and everything that we are using on daily basis, mostly the digital media and everything, this has to be I find gender neutral. It has to encourage more participation from women and from minority cultures. Because if we don't do that, we are going to run into a big problem that it is the world that we all envision, which is good for all of us, that vision will not be realized. And in the tech industry, especially, there is a very dire need that we cover the gap. It's a huge gap. If you see that, Josephine, you were saying 16%, or I think it has increased a little bit. I mean, I know even a worse number of the tech people are women. And if we don't change those numbers, and if we don't make like that, there is equality, gender equality, then we will not have a fair, and we will not have, the world in a nicer place. I mean, we will always have then the problems that we are facing, because the more diverse your workforce, which should be made up from like a good portion with women or minority cultures, the better everything can get for the whole world. And so we can't marginalize this important group of people in tech, and especially in tech, where I'm very passionate about, and I think I have tried doing my best. We want to establish more women in the workforce, that they are not afraid and that they feel well supported. And I think this is just my small part, but I think everybody should do their share.
Mhm. Can I ask you, Vidya?
Has changed a lot since you joined.
Hmm.
Yes. So
I can't, I couldn't hear you,
so
Josephine.
you think that the industry has changed a lot since you joined?
I think the industry it's still a little bit the same. So it's still a very men, and if you see in tech, it's mostly white men. And it's not that I have anything against them, of course not. And I think just it will be a benefit for the whole society if the society was based on equity or equality across all the sections of the society. And women are half of the society, and if they are not represented, that means that anything this in these tech companies, the products and services that are produced will not be not take care of this important demographic, and that will mean that it will be lopsided. And I mean, we have now things with AI or machine learning where this thing is already happening. There are some there were some easy examples that I can share with you why this is so important. For example, I think even Facebook was working on a face recognition software, and that software didn't really work with people of color very well. Or there are so many other examples as well of bias in our society. And so, I mean, if we want to discourage this bias and have everybody feel good and can contribute to the society, we need to change the numbers. And I
Mhm.
think the numbers will not change that fast if there is not an effort which is put not only from the government, which is I think trying to do their part, but also from the private sector. So the private sector has to really, really work out these problems and really establish more roles for women and take more women into the companies to, create a basic equality across all the sections of the society.
Right. What gave you the interest on going to tech? And given that I'm sure a lot of women that are watching right now who is not into tech, maybe you could share a point of view. Maybe they could, spark their interest into tech.
Yes, so I have a background in engineering. So I come from India, where it is relatively a large portion of women, I might say, or add, who dare to go into the tech, tech background, and who have learned programming or any other engineering disciplines. So I was lucky because it was like something as good shown as a good option for women as well to get good jobs later, to be either a doctor or an engineer, as we used to say in India, which was like the only two paths that we could see. Funny that this is very restrictive, I know. It's not very creative, but that's how our society works. They all want to be doctors or engineers. And
Oh.
yeah, that is true. I mean, it's the status, it's
We have a
prestige.
similar kind of like that in the Philippines, whereas we have it's either we are nurses or we go to the ship. Right,
Yeah,
like
that's yeah, it's really funny that yeah, it's similar. Yeah, that's true. I can understand, and I think we have there something common between our cultures in Philippines and India. Yeah, so basically that was a very valid or path for me as well, and I managed to do it. Um, and the thing is that if you have a little bit introduction to all these courses and you're not afraid of mathematics, which is a huge part of engineering anyway, and somehow you survive that, I think then you're not really scared of tech so much.
Mhm.
So then I went also abroad. I came to Germany, where I'm now. Look, I mean, this is my kind of my country now. I'm settled here in Germany, and I could then do my master's in telecommunications. And it was at that point that, I mean, tech was still there, but I wouldn't say that I really did tech with that courses. I mean, we got a lot of like theoretical knowledge. The on-hand experience with tech was really with the companies, and the programming and software verification and quality management and so on. That is like how it started. But I felt always that I was somehow misplaced in the automotive world or in the world of some other type of companies, because I was always a passionate somebody who was passionate about internet or telecommunications and apps and platforms and all this. And so I finally was exposed to that world when I joined Deutsche Telekom as first as a consultant, but then later as a product manager, which became the role, the dream role that I always wanted. And so that was my biggest exposure to tech. And during this time, I went to Silicon Valley 3 months, where I was scouting on behalf of Deutsche Telekom as a partnering manager. I was scouting AI startups and machine learning startups. And this was again a big exposure for me to be exposed to Silicon Valley, and that's where I really, really grew more and more passionate. Not only through the Stanford program that I did earlier, but the real being there in Silicon Valley really changed and has paved a lot of has paved new thoughts or a way for creativity in tech, and I'm very, very passionate about it. I may be a little bit too biased because I'm passionate. So I probably will not always see the risks of tech, which I also know that there are. But at the end, I think, you can use technology, or I believe very, very strongly, you can use technology and innovation for the social good. And that is why I'm trying to do that with my entrepreneurship journey right now.
Yeah. Speaking of which, now you are a CEO and co-founder. Congratulations. What inspired you to create Givetastic?
Yeah, so the inspiration for Givetastic, so the first trigger, as you might, I don't know if I would call it the first. I mean, there were many triggers, but one of the most important triggers was as I was in Silicon Valley for the couple of months on the job rotation, and I was very much, kind of moved by the climate problems, and it was like 4 years back, and I was thinking all the time, because I was so triggered, and I was thinking, how can a person like me create impact here? And so I started thinking, why can't we use technology for social good? So I combined like one with one, and I said, how can we use technology to do social good? And that is how the first idea that I worked on for some time came into being. And that idea was basically that we created machine learning based Chrome browser plugin, which based on whatever you're reading in the internet, will give you recommendation to donate to any cause that is matching what you're reading, or you could become active for that cause. So it was a simple idea, and I think it has never left me after that. Yeah, to it has never left me after that. Let's say it like this.
Mhm. So we know that there's a big difference between corporate social responsibility and sustainability. But do you think that CSR has a big effect on sustainability?
I mean, I have been in this field now, trying on the path of like finding out with CSR and how can we make CSR even more effective.
Yes.
I might even add that how the companies do it right now, and many, I mean, not all, but a little bit portion of the companies in Germany is obligated to produce a CSR report, right? The banks, for example, or bigger DAX companies like BMW and so on, they have to produce a CSR report. The problem with all this is I find you can even consider it to some extent that companies do it more for reporting purposes than to really, really change something, because they think they are obligated and they have to produce a great report, which probably nobody really reads. I mean, not really to that extent, because I mean, I used to work at Deutsche Telekom and our report was 300 pages. So you can guess how many people will actually go through the whole report and read it, even though it is really interesting to read, probably. So I believe that the way CSR is implemented in the companies is not sufficient, or it's not enough. For example, yes, we had like 2 days before Earth Day, and we as a startup at Givetastic are part of the Green Tech Alliance, and we really believe that in order to really, really have sustainability, and not just sustainability that is forced, but really from within the companies, you need to pull your employees in it. And the way you can do it is to really involve them in all the CSR activities that you are doing, and let them decide, for example, not only for the green initiative, sustainability has for me, it's a bigger and broader definition of sustainability than what we always believe, which is
Mm.
mostly, carbon, to be
Yeah.
carbon neutral, or the
Mm.
carbon to reduce carbon footprint and green energy and all this,
Yes.
which is all great. But sustainability is very, like, it is much broader than this definition.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
what we are trying to do is that we want to get companies to really start from within, bottom up, and not top down, as it is
Mm.
at the moment normally conducted. And not all companies have to do it. There's just a small minor part. There are 3 million companies in Germany, and you can guess it's like 1,000 maybe, or 2,000 who are obligated to do it. And I mean, it's nothing compared to the millions of companies that are there in Germany. So it's not really very, I think the regulation is nice, and I think companies are quite aware of it. But I think
Yeah.
there is still a big gap, and how it is right now performed or orchestrated in the companies is not sufficient.
Uh, I was about to ask that if German companies are generally giving, if they are giving generally. So you
Mm,
answered that question already.
yeah.
So there's a struggle to get people or corporations involved in CSR.
I mean, many will do it as well. I mean, bigger corporates anyway do it. It's not that they don't do it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
many small ones are not really able to do it because of the resources, and I mean, they have to also survive on the market. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always a question about profit or purpose for a lot of these companies. And even though I know that the German companies, I mean, 80% of them really give, and many of them give regularly every year, even at least the donation part.
Yeah.
Not maybe, I don't know, I can't say to the CSR aspect, because CSR obligation is only for such a minor part of the whole, if you compare the whole set of companies who need to do it. The donation part is quite nice. German companies are very, very good in it, or they try to do it. But I think this is still, yeah. I mean, for me, giving is one part of it, but really, really creating change, which is something that we want, right? We want to
Mm-hmm.
create change in the world and make this world a better place for us all.
Mm-hmm.
For that, I think the CSR part and how it is done, especially between for the small, medium-sized companies where they might not have that many resources. That is actually a bigger thing that I would like to do with the entrepreneurship venture that I founded some time back, because I really believe that by empowering employees to take part in the CSR activities, even though it means just at the beginning to just donate to a cause that they care about, we'll have more awareness about sustainability, and we'll have much more stronger social bonds of and community, which is required, I find, nowadays to really, really bring people together, especially now that we are so displaced with Corona.
Yes.
That's
I
true.
was just thinking that in the Philippines back home, most of the multi-million corporations, they build foundations ultimately to that's how CSR is implemented. They create foundations for, like, for example, abused children, and then that's how they give back for education. So uh how do you promote CSR, let's say through Givetastic? How do you promote it,
Hmm.
especially
Yeah,
now
thank
that
you.
we have a pandemic? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. So we are, I would say, a smart giving and engagement platform for employees to support social and environmental causes of their choice using the CSR budget of the company. So that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And with our platform, or app, more to say, because we have apps on the store, we allow employees to donate time or donate money, or they can tackle sustainability challenges. So this is how right now we are offering our solution. And we would like to position the companies who are doing this with their employees as a more sustainable brand, because we really believe that if you establish if you empower employees and they are able to do the things or select the things or make the decision making, starting from a small thing like a donation to a cause, um, we really believe that then the employees, there will be a big power there, and there will be a big community that you're also building. And we would like to give employees also something to look forward to, which has meaning. And that, nowadays employees want to be aligned to the values, or want the companies to be aligned to their values. So there has to be a match between what the company values are and the employee values are,
Mm-hmm.
because that's when the employees will really stay, and you will have a higher retention, or you can
Mhm.
attract talent. So this is also an
Mm-hmm.
important aspect of Givetastic, that at the end of the day, naturally, one part is the branding part, or giving the budget in a good, efficient manner. But on the other hand, the what actually really matters at the end is that you as a company are, because of the empowerment, you are a very good employer for a lot of employees, and they will come gladly to your company, and you can attract talent and you can retain talent. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
because of the decision making power that is then given to the employees, which is the idea that we have in the app.
Mm-hmm.
How many
So
people are you looking to hire this year, Vidya?
It's actually like we have a team, we have some tech competence and competencies as well. We have some students who are helping us out. So for students, I think we'll go on a little bit, like maybe we hire a couple of them more. Maybe also from India, because I think it's remote work is no problem for a software company.
yes.
But for bigger hiring, we are looking for funding. So we do have a pre-seed investment from Axel Springer and Porsche
Oh,
in us, which is
nice.
APX, also APX
Mm-hmm.
from by Axel Springer and Porsche. But we are looking for the next round of funding, and as soon as we are ready, we will do a proper hiring then, to really have a to really deliver, and to build a great runway to not only bring the app to a completely next level and the platform to the next level, and to give great features which really engage employees, because that is actually the benefit of Givetastic, that you can engage employees, but also to maybe in the next coming years to internationalize the product.
I actually have her app on my phone. So you mentioned the app. How does, yeah, here? How does it work?
Yeah,
I
you're
like about
actually showing it for the people. It is exactly like that.
yeah,
So the
tell
companies
us
create
about
a
it.
wallet, which they can then, share it with their employees, and then employees get access to the app and can activate the wallet that was given to them, and employees then get the chance to select the projects that they care about, and yeah, and they can donate. So I mean, this is now a very like basic MVP. What we are showing here, it will be much more sophisticated, naturally, with a lot of like giving time or tackling sustainability challenges. But after that, the donation receipt and everything that we give as a service for the companies, because all the NGOs that we do show in the app are well accredited, and there is no fraud because we work with our partner betterplace.org, which is our strategic partner, and all the projects are from them. So whatever we show in the app has been well vetted.
Hmm.
And so this is a very simple flow that I'm showing, or we are showing here. So how does it work is that you
Yes.
create a wallet, and the
Hmm.
wallet is the empowerment tool for the employees, because they have their money or time in that wallet, and then they can decide whatever cause they want to support.
Oh, wonderful. Is it already available?
Yes, the apps are already on the store. So the Android and iOS apps are already since some time. We did make a big buzz around it because we want to first learn with a lot of employees and make the apps even better. So there
Hmm.
has been a kind of a silent launch, you can say. And the companies who work with us, we, of course, they are able to access the apps. And right now, if you access the app, you wouldn't be able to really use it because it's made for the company to, because somebody has to create this budget. And once
Mhm.
they create this budget to divide it among the employees. So that part is still a B2B part, and that's why it's not a B2C app currently, but maybe in future.
So it's solely focused now for corporations and
At the
not
moment, yes.
individuals. Yes, and not individuals. Like if I personally would want to donate, I can't do that at the moment.
Mm.
But hopefully in the future, right? So that
Yeah,
a
we
lot
hope
more
that.
people, yes, exactly, like freelancers like me can also donate because I'm not part
Yeah,
of a
I mean,
corporation. Exactly. I'm not part of a
yeah.
corporation. I am my own. So if I want to donate, then I can. So
Mm.
that's really great to have that
Yeah,
app that supports, that embraces kindness and influences people to be kind. And
yeah.
especially, yeah, corporations. When you say corporations, like, bruh, these
Mhm.
companies are trying to destroy, not caring anymore, but they don't know about it. And now there's corporate, they're trying to make the corporation support to have make be aware of having social responsibility. So wow. So now it's available, and you can check it out just in case someone who has a corporation. I have friends who have corporations. Please do check it out and get involved in Vidya's campaign. Uh, so
Yeah,
this
we are looking
pandemic,
for pilots. We are looking for companies who want to pilot the
yeah,
app with their employees, and
yeah,
we would be very happy to talk to you. You can always contact me on LinkedIn,
yes.
or on our website, which is www.givetastic.org, where you can also contact us. So
Oh,
any channel is
wonderful.
fine with me.
Yes, I will definitely refer some friends who are CEOs as well. And now that there's a pandemic, where was Givetastic greatly affected?
So I would say yes. We were affected to some extent because there is no like business event where you really would meet the companies to generate leads and to do your sales, right? So that part is was difficult because first you had to adjust to the new environment, that you couldn't really travel, and most of the selling happens face to face normally when they
Yes.
get the feel that what you're doing is of value.
Yes.
But in the meanwhile, I would say we are well adjusted to the corona part, and all our team members are also remote. And most of the company, the people that we are looking at companies to connect to for CSR managers or HR managers, or maybe even CEOs, we can do that also, using the normal communication platforms like LinkedIn, or connection platforms like LinkedIn, or so, and through the introductions from our network. So it did affect us, and it did took some time. I think to adjust to the new reality and new world. But I would say we did do okay
Mm,
despite of that.
yes. So I'm really curious, how many organizations will benefit from Givetastic?
So we did conduct some pilots already, but these were in the smaller range, I would say, and thousands of euros have been transferred to different organizations, I would say. But we are awaiting bigger pilots where it will be
Yes.
a bigger number. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to, jinx it right now by telling which ones that we are talking about, but we
Okay.
are talking to some, yeah, big banks and so on.
But
So I would
this is
say
global, global, right?
the what is
The
global?
organizations, yeah, global.
It's actually mostly Germany based. So
Oh, okay.
we are going hyper local. So
Mm,
we offer them the different city wallets as a company
mm,
to select which city they want to support. So if a
Mm.
company is in Berlin, then it makes sense that they support the projects which are from Berlin. And
Mm.
so we do match them in the app with the right projects.
yeah.
Mm.
Can you imagine if this goes global? It's just I'm in awe. This is going to be really fantastic.
Yeah,
Giving,
Thank you so
it's
much.
a
definitely it's
better
gonna be
world that we
fantastic.
know that we will be living in after.
Yes, it's
If
I
just
all
hope
the
so.
something that
companies have this kind of mindset, and if they execute these kinds of social responsibility, I
yes.
think this is a movement that could really ripple across the world.
Yes, definitely. A lot of people now are really struggling, and with this, some kind of effort of giving back to people, they work hard. So many people are thinking, I've worked hard in that corporation, and they're not giving back. And this is now going to come
Mhm.
true finally through Vidya's company, Givetastic. And this is just amazing. So,
Thank you so much. It's
yeah.
very much fun to talk about it. If Yeah, I think it is not that, as I said, companies are trying to give back. It's just I would like to give them back in a way which is like much more bottoms up, and all the people get a chance to give back, and not just maybe one CEO or a top manager who decides, okay, this is where we give.
Yeah.
I would like to democratize this complete CSR, because I think that is where the power of the people is, right?
Mm,
So if you
Mhm.
yes.
democratize and let everybody to
Get
decide not
involved.
only about what happens with the funds, but
Mm-hmm.
to give like time for
Mm.
these great NGOs. And you know what? We are extending it even further. So the donating time in our app is not only for open for the NGOs which we have and which are well vetted, as I said, from our partner Better Place, but donating time, we would like to also support female founded businesses and people like you, Josephine, I think, and social entrepreneurs. So we want to, and local artists. So we want to have an ecosystem which is a bigger ecosystem to support than just the NGO projects, which is nice. Of course, I
Mm.
mean, you should support and you can do some volunteering. But I think what creates an impact is if you support really the social entrepreneurs and female
Mm.
founded businesses.
Yes.
Mm.
So yeah, I have a
Yeah.
crazy question. Now we're on the final set of the program. If you are given 1 million euro to spend on anything right now,
Wow.
what would you yeah, what would you spend it to? On what would you spend it on?
I would build the product vision that I have in my head, which was something maybe that I could do only in a couple of years. If we became successful, I would start building on it.
You are
And it
already
will be all
successful.
about creating community and really creating impact for and I would make it B2C, right? I would allow everybody to come in the app, because that requires a lot of
Yeah.
money. And I
Yes.
would build a biggest database of NGOs,
Ah,
well-vetted NGOs
yeah.
world over, and we could give them every city to city ecosystem to support by donating time or money. And
Wow.
I
That's
would be able to do that then.
that's always the case, you know. I've been well, sometimes I've raised funds for catastrophes happening back home, and there's just so many individuals who do not know where to give their money. And now if you will be able to create a better platform for those individuals in the future, then I can just simply say, just get the app of Givetastic, and then you know where to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Also,
that's
yeah,
partner, it also it releases the thinking of people of, oh, is my money going to the right person or the right
yeah.
company?
Mm-hmm.
If it really is really good vetted, I think people will automatically, from themselves, they would go to that app and use it.
Yes, because as you can see earlier in the slide, that you can actually monitor where your fund is going. So there's
that
transparency already. Yes.
that is
Hmm.
our secret sauce. So actually, of course, the connection and the matchmaking to the NGOs, or really the hyper local ness of our product, because you can go really city by city. You connect the app to a city wallet, and it's all projects and initiatives. But I think what is actually extremely interesting for companies is that, you get a feel of how or what your employees find important, because we
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
give you a great analytics report at the end. Of course, it's
Mm-hmm.
anonymous and nobody can say, where the donations or who donated to what, because that is not the thing. The important thing is to get strategical insights. What are the important categories, or what are the important projects that really move your employees and where they are donating, because that can give you a kind of a feel of
Hmm.
who your employees really are, because how many companies really know their employees? I would say
Right.
not so
Right.
many, or it's a black box and they just
Hmm.
perform their duties and they do their
Mm.
job and 9 to 5 and it's done. But what we are offering to them is that you will get much more value because of the data that we are giving to you in form of a report, and also other analytics.
Mm.
You could generate key insights which will
Hmm.
help you even become much more attractive to new talent or to retain
Yes.
talent. So that is our, I think, hypothesis, where we are very, very concentrating that this is especially interesting for companies who want to attract fresh new talent, which are Generation Z, which is a very
Right.
young target segment, right? And they are
Mm-hmm.
very much for Fridays for Future, and they want to be
Hmm.
empowered and they want to get their hands dirty. So
Yeah.
They're the
we would like
woke
to offer them
generation.
that.
They're the
Yeah.
woke
Yeah.
generation.
They
Yes.
I
they
didn't
they
get you. They are the what generation you
They're the
said?
woke generation. They're
Yeah,
woke. They
right, right.
woke.
The woke generation. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
they want to get involved. So that's really inspiring for that generation. So, speaking of which, if Givetastic is a person, how would you describe Givetastic?
oh, that's a good question. I think Givetastic is very much a person, I don't know, who wants to do good. So the social good character is going to be there, but equally somebody who is very interested in doing it efficiently, using the technology and innovation. So it's like a match between social and tech. So I would
Yeah.
say that is like where I feel I am that kind of like person who is very much into tech,
Me
passionate
too.
about tech, but passionate also about social, and wants to bring these two things together.
You just described me. Just kidding.
Also, you, that is for sure.
I love Givetastic. Anyway, oh, how do you
Thank
balance
you.
work and life?
Oh, it's not easy. I think you also know it. It's not easy
Yes,
to
I
balance
know.
it.
I need some
It's
pointers.
I don't know if I'm the right person to give you any pointers. I
Let's
think
try
it's
it.
yeah. I think I don't know. I think you have to establish some good rituals in your life, right? So
Yeah.
you have to make sure that you maybe meditation is something which brings people down, and I think that is a very, very good way, or breathing. So you need
Mm-hmm.
that as well. And
Mm-hmm.
in general, I think, what one forgets on the entrepreneurship journey, and which I'm really realizing very, because I get punched all the time in face, kind of like as an entrepreneur, you are really solving problems all the time. So it's important to take care of yourself, because
Mm-hmm.
nobody's going to do that for you. And I think at the end of the day, this is all a risk. Entrepreneurship or doing any company is a risk. It's not guaranteed that there will be success. And I think I have a vested interest to see Givetastic succeed, because this is like a baby that I raised like from a scratch, which from a small idea that I had, and the trigger to really having a product which is on the market, which is very
Mm-hmm.
exciting to do, or the whole journey.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think what is really important is to um, yeah, to be of course to be realistic also about the expectations, and to see to do your best. But after that, I think there is not much you can do, and you can just try your best and give your best. And yeah, so basically that's what I tell everybody, to take one day at a time.
And so, finally, your last question. What advice would you give to young professionals starting in tech?
Yeah, so for young professionals, I think starting in tech, I think they do. The good thing is they're all native, using technology. Like I think we have never seen used before, so they
Yeah.
are quite, I think, like easy. It's easy, right, for them
Is-
in tech, because that is
Yes.
some part of their life. But I think, and the good thing is that most of this generation is anyway very concerned about values and climate action and all these things. And I think, if I really honestly reflect, why I started the company was because I was thinking everybody builds a career, or, get more money or a bigger job or a bigger
Uh,
position. But I was like fed up of that, because I was thinking that, the time is the time is ticking, or how do you say, the clock is ticking. We
the
don't have
clock
so
is
much
ticking.
time. And if
Mm.
I think I would be happy when I die someday, when I know that at least I tried. I
Yes.
tried doing it. And I think for the new generation, I think they should try, and they should really. I think, of course, you have to earn money and you have to pay your bills, and but let's now all start keeping the status and the prestige a little bit aside, and really seeing that the world is at the infection point, as I
Yeah.
would like to call it. And this infection point means that everybody, or not only the companies or the governments or the public sector, as I was saying, or the NGOs, you need each and every person here taking this very, very seriously, with the climate change, with all the things about Corona that is going on, but in general, to really trying to make this world a better place, and to stop these climate problems. And I
Yes.
think this is going to take a huge, huge effort from our side, and we need each and every hand to help.
Yes. And thank you so much. We have come to the end of the show. Again, we thank our guest,
Thank
Vidya.
you.
Yes, for creating a company that inspires people to be kind and make us believe that there's still hope in humanity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I hope I was
Thank you.
really my honor and my pleasure to be here. And yeah, maybe when we will hear from each other soon, and you will see the
Yes.
progress. Follow Givetastic on the social media as well. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Vidya Munde-Müller. I think, yeah, I mean, I would be very honored if you visit our website, givetastic.org. Thank you.
Always. Thank you so much.
We wish you all the best into your Givetastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay. That was Dean also. Thank you so much for being part of our show today. So, Dean's gone. Okay, thank you everyone. We'll see you next Saturday here at Talk Alley. Bye.